open event, we have three teams. Athletics Essendon, Alex Sarkis, Lauren Cole, Charlotte Wilson, and Emily Guy from Melbourne University, Amy McCormick, Zien Lu Zhang, Ruby Turner and Madison Button, and from Glen Huntly, Anna Saw, Vanessa Wilson, Dana Deckers and Cassie Little. In the over 40 section we have three competing teams. From Ringwood, Coral Farr, Kathy Green, Sandra Geisler and Lisa Dallow. From Western Athletics, Stephanie Thomas, Sharon Rankin, Amanda Couchy and Bridget Snyders. And from Bendigo Region, Anne Buckley, Catherine Heagney, Melissa Douglas and Julie Marr. And just an announcement, we do require the Box Hill team from the men's open 4x1500 to please check in to presentations. Looking down the track, Anna Saw leading the way from Casarpis and then McCormick. So it's our three open teams. Then we're followed by the Western Athletics team there in Thomas. And we've got Buckley from Bendigo Region and Coral Farr, former Melbourne Marathon winner Coral Farr, representing the Ringwood Club in the over 40s. So a bit of a battle in three with Casarpis just happy to sit there off the back of Saw at the moment as they settle down into this second lap now of the 1500 metres. So Glen Huntly, Essendon, Melbourne Uni, Western A's, Bendigo Region and Ringwood in the over 40s. So a little bit of a gap forming now between 1, 2 and then 3 in the open event. Melbourne University's McCormick probably about 15 metres now off the back. Casarpis quite happy to sit there with Saw leading the way. So 6 kilometres of running, 4x1500 metres, the 15 lap event here. So Anna Saw, Glen Huntly leads. Casarpis, not long back from the World Masters Championships in Spain. So Thomas, representing the Western A's, or Western Athletics team, leading the over 40s by 100 metres. Once again, great to see the team from Bendigo here. This is Buckley coming through. So 1 lap to go. Saw Casarpis still in the same position. 30 metres back there, McCormick from Melbourne University. The over 40 competition. You see Thomas, she'll be coming through to get 1 lap to go. She goes now past the water jump. And then Buckley and Farr. So Casarpis just moving out in the lane. Is that an indicator that I might be trying to make a passing move? So Saw still leads. It's Anna versus Anna here. Anna Saw, Anna Casarpis. Saw's led all the way. Casarpis not too far, but I think we're seeing a bit of a surge here from Saw as the Glen Huntly runner goes 3, 4, 5 metres ahead. Really starting to surge away from Casarpis. A gap of now about 40 metres back to McCormick from Melbourne University. As we see Buckley going through to get 1 lap to go. So Saw finishing beautifully over this last 300 metres. Looked like Casarpis was going to make a move, but Saw's got it all her own way now, just opening up a massive lead now. And she'll finish more than 50 metres ahead and hand off to Wilson. So 4:44 unofficial there. Wilson takes off like a train, so she's got 3 3/4 laps to go, but really trying to put on the distance to her Essendon rival. As we see Melbourne University back into the picture again. So Wilson from Glenn Huntley leads. Connell's now got the baton for the Essendon team.
Next changeover down there from our over 40s teams. First one there is going to be Western Athletics. So Stephanie Thomas hands over to Sharon Rankin. Tick over 5:20 as Bendigo Region also step out on the track. Ready to see their baton shortly. But it's definitely Glenn Huntley there, Tim, making all the moves at the moment.
It was a stunning last lap there from Saw. She really put the distance on the Essendon team, and Wilson's continuing that on. So Connell probably just has to keep her head about her at the moment on these early laps and just see what she can bring home on the last lap.
Oh, a bit of elbow-to-elbow racing there as the Glenn Huntley team went past the over 40 change of Bendigo. So Catherine Hegney now takes it for the over 40s team there for Bendigo Region. Certainly didn't expect such tight racing as we had 6 teams in the 4x1500. Essendon, though, coming down the straight here with Lauren Connell, she's looking quite good. I think Lauren Connell's going to close that gap a little bit as we go into these later 2 laps, and she'll go through now past the traditional bell lap position as our Melbourne University athlete Lu Azin Zhang is 3rd on the track.
Yeah, I think Connell will close this a little bit more. She's probably more accomplished over the 1500 metres than Wilson. Wilson probably more at home over the longer distances, but Wilson has set a pretty good lead here and put the Glenn Huntley team right in the mix with this one. When you look at the team lineups, you would have probably picked Essendon as a firm favourite, but at the moment Glenn Huntley are throwing it down to them.
Yeah, it's great to see the different orders you run are very important in these races, aren't they? I mean, the idea of feeling like you're only sort of 10 or 15 seconds off the pace is very different when you're 100 metres down in these 4x1500s and having to work by yourself, because these packs break up very, very quickly in the 4x1500. We've seen Ringwood now also make their change on their first leg. They're going around there with three laps to go in their second leg. But it's Glenn Huntley now with a 40-metre lead. Vanessa Wilson there, over Lauren Connell. You're right, Tim. I think Lauren Connell's going to keep making a little bit of ground. She's not going to catch her, I don't think, by the end of this change, but she's certainly going to close the gap and put Essendon back into this race. And they're interestingly going to come back with Charlotte Wilson and Emily Guy. So I think if she can maintain contact, Essendon will have some real confidence.
The girls from Western A certainly looking really strong in this over 40 comp. They've already lapped the Ringwood team. And if we look down the track, Bendigo are probably about 300 metres behind at this stage.
Yeah, so, as we said, there are 3 teams in both these divisions on the track, so we're all going to medal. It's really a case of which order we have with the combination of our open team and over 40s team here.
So Wilson's got 1 lap to go now. The gap to Connell, I reckon, is about 40 to 45 metres, Nick. And I'm not sure that's going to change very much over this last lap.
No, I think you're right. I think Lauren made a big move in her second lap, but after it was Glenn Huntley there with Vanessa Wilson going out quite quick first lap, Lauren made some good ground on the second lap, but now she's held that margin and she's paced herself around really well. You will see these girls all checking their watches regularly because they are at some very abnormal points as we talk about. This 1500 metres will finish and change over at the 200 metre start. So it is a little bit abnormal for them trying to get their normal bearings on. But Lauren Connell's now, as I've said that, she's just put on a little bit of a surge. So with 250 to go, she's putting one more little effort to see how close she can get this baton change over to Charlotte Wilson, who's going to be trying to chase down Dana Deckers of Glenn Huntley when they get to that third leg.
I think there won't be much in this now, Nick, as we see it's very similar to the first leg here. There's so much happens in the last 300 metres, and I wouldn't be surprised at all if Essendon are right there, if not in the lead, when they go to the changeover.
I think we went the early crow with saying that this gap would stay the same. I think you're absolutely right. They're going to change over probably neck and neck here. So Glenn Huntley and Essendon go down the back straight with 80 metres remaining now. So we're going to be halfway through this 4x1500 and we're going to have 2 teams absolutely side by side.
So it'll be Wilson to Deckers, Connell to Wilson.
And they change there at 9:40. So we're 9:40, we're averaging 450 for those first 2 legs. And Charlotte Wilson is going to go straight past Glenn Huntley here, I feel. And she's going to put her foot down. So obviously we saw some great steeplechasing from Charlotte last year. And now looks like she's got some speed to burn over the old 4x1500 metres relay. So it will be Clearly on the track now, Essendon are now going to very shortly lap the third place team, which is Melbourne University. So they're your 1, 2 and 3 in the open category, as Western Athletics also put the lap on Bendigo region in the over 40s.
I love the baton holding position there, Charlotte Wilson.
Yeah, very US collegiate-like, isn't it?
Very US.
Tucked into the forearm. I think Charlotte looked great in one of those 4x800 or the famous medleys maybe at Penn.
So Essendon now passing Melbourne University, so that's first and third. Dana Deckers from Glen Huntly. She'll be bearing down on the university team shortly. Just behind them, it is the team from Western Athletics.
So Charlotte goes through that lap pretty quick indeed, actually.
Yes, Luke.
70-second first lap. So 70-second first lap for Charlotte Wilson.
We'll do the presentation shortly.
So Charlotte Wilson hits down the main straight. She's opened that gap up to 50 metres now on Dana Deckers of Glen Huntly. And as we go down through now with 11.5 minutes in this 4x1500, we're going to throw down to presentations and the men's open 4x1500.
Thanks, Nick. And in third position, in the time of 16:25.67, representing the Diamond Valley Athletic Club, we have Jared Clifford, Tim Logan, Chris Rancy and Jack Itter.
Second position, our silver medalists, team from St Stephen's Harriers, the time of 16:23.76. Tim Gibney, Thomas Gore, Lachlan Aspel and Ben Buckingham. And our gold medalists, Victorian Open 4x1500 metre relay champions, the time of 16:14.58. Representing Box Hill, Nicholas Baggett, Michael Dow, Alexander Ritchie and William Potter. And thanks Tim, we're back onto the track and running past that medal podium with our gentleman on the dais there is Charlotte Wilson. Now that first 70-second lap, taking a little bit out of Charlotte. She opened the lead up to about 60 metres on Dana Deckers, and now Dana now is pacing herself well through quite nicely and pulled the margin back a little bit on lap number 3. So with 400 metres remaining of this third leg, Charlotte Wilson, that gap remains at around 50 metres to Glen Huntly. Melbourne University are third on the track in the open competition. And Western A's coming through with the traditional bellies with 5 laps to go, I believe, overall. Western Athletics are currently the leaders in the over 40s competition.
So it's Amanda Couchy there for Western A's. Deckers showed a lot of composure, I think, Nick, in that opening lap. Didn't freak when Wilson went past, and as we're seeing, the gap is not really changing from here on.
No, it was a very, very smart decision by her. Charlotte Wilson's certainly going to run a very good leg, but I think Deckers has probably paced it perfectly for her expectations, and they're going to be a lot closer than I expected to be at this last change, when it's going to be Charlotte Wilson handing over to Emily Guy for Essendon and Deckers handing over to Cassie Little for Glen Huntly. So it's 200 metres to go now for Charlotte Wilson. They'll pass over, as we said, at the traditional 1500 metre start point. And with these 3 clubs on the track, it looks like we're going to have 3 entirely different women's clubs on the podium than the men's competition. So already the men's open competition, the women's open competition are giving us plenty of different HH Hunter points for these clubs here today.
Do they get points on the relays? No. We don't have a relay system, we should. We do. No.
So at the changeover, at 14 minutes 40. So what was it? That was a 5-minute leg there for Charlotte Wilson, it looks like. So she's passed over to Emily Guy, and Glen Huntly receives it now from Cassie Little.
That really was a good run and a very composed run, as we've said, from Deckers. So it's got Glen Huntly in a position where they can challenge, but Emily Guy versus Cassie Little, I think I'd be putting my money on Guy. Victorian cross-country representative at Mullaney this year, very strong over the cross-country. Cassie's been a great track runner over the years, just coming back from the birth of her first child. But great to see Cass back out there again on the track in those blue colours of Glen Huntly.
Yeah, we certainly have a mix of age of athletes on the track here in this competition today. We spread from some in the very early 60s right through those in the late 90s racing each other. So certainly a fair spread in the open and the over 40s competition as we go through. And Emily Guy goes through with now officially 3 laps to go and a 40-metre lead over Cassie Little. But Cassie looks really good.
Cassie is looking very, very composed there. She's got her eyes on Emily. Won't let her go too far, as we see they're just going through past Melissa Douglas from Bendigo region at the moment.
We are going to have to give you a bit of an update when we get these last changeovers for those over 40s teams. I think we're a couple of laps down now on the open teams. So a bit hard to tell exactly where they are on the track at the moment. And then it's Melbourne University here about to come into their last change, I believe.
So that's Ruby Turner out there at the moment. She'll be handing off to Madison Button from Melbourne University. And that'll mean that all of our open teams are on the last leg. So the Ringwood runner there is Sandra Geisler.
And Western Athletics, I tell you what, this over 40s Western Athletics team, they're hotly chasing that Melbourne University Open team, it looks like.
That'll be a nice little win, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I think Amanda Couchy there's going to hand over to Bridget Snyders now at the end of this leg, and they are not going to be without hope of catching that Melbourne University Open team, I believe.
That will be very interesting. Now, looking down at the leaders of our open women, and Guy's coming through to get 2 laps to go. So Emily Guy, 2 laps to go. I'd say that's a 40-metre gap there to Little from Glen Huntly.
Yeah, it stayed about the same margin, I must admit. I think Emily Guy's going to do enough to hang on here, but Cassie Little certainly run a very good first 800 metres so far.
And Bridget Snyders has taken off down the back straight in pursuit of the Melbourne University team, and just letting Bridge know that her husband Daniel is watching on live stream.
Great to see the live stream up again today. Certainly a new regular feature of all our AV events, a lot of our AV events. I saw one of our own board members, Tamsin Lewis, had already logged on today as well, watching the live stream from Queensland.
And what a Tamsin Lewis moment we had at the Zatopek one year in the relays, Nick.
Yes, and I see, unfortunately, there will be no Sandringham 4x400 today, open women's. It's a shock, it's an amazement.
I think there'll be a royal commission into that one.
So look, as we go through here now, Emily Guy's got 500 metres remaining. She's opened that margin up now to nearly 70, 80 metres. So Essendon now, it's a case of how far to win this 4x1500. Glen Huntly next on the track. Melbourne University will take 3rd in this event. But it's at the bell, Emily Guy of Athletics Essendon.
So Guy now coming through into that last 300 metres. So Snyder's not too far in front of her to chase down. So the gap now to Glen Huntly is just short of 100 metres. So it'll be put the glasses down now on the Athletics Essendon team. They'll be taking this championship out. Good, strong team they put out on the track today. So Essendon leading from Glen Huntly and Melbourne University. Western A's, as we said, very strong over 40s team, as we see Snyder's around there with Guy just behind her at the moment. So they are leading the Western A's team from Bendigo region and I think Ringwood.
Yeah, look, it's been excellent, well-paced judge run by these Essendon athletes right through the whole group there. They dropped back to 2nd for a little while on the 2nd leg, fought home well to change over, equal leader at the end of, or the halfway mark, and Emily Guy is now going to anchor this team home. She's going to probably finish with this last leg around a 450 to finish with. So their team has averaged in that sort of 450 range. But Emily Guy anchoring an Athletics Essendon 4x1500 victory, and on the same home straight right now, Cassie Little will take silver for Glen Huntly Athletic Club.
So a strong run here from Cass. She'll finish off and get the team under the 20-minute mark. So that's a sub 5-minute average there for the Glen Huntly girls. And
very impressive, really, when you think they're running solo for a lot of this way. So 4 runners under that 5 minutes to get the silver medal there for that celebration there for Glen Huntly, as we see Essendon get out the 4 runners there and enjoy their victory. So we're waiting on the bell laps now of a couple of our teams. Melbourne University.
They'll be next through as we see the Ringwood team in the over 40s. That is Geisler handing off to Lisa Dallow. We have all of our runners on the last leg now for this 4x1500 metre event. Melbourne University will come down now to get the bell.
So there we are, Melbourne University getting the bell, and after this bell they will get the bronze because they are third on the track in the open competition. Bendigo Region over 40s just sitting behind her there at the moment.
That's Julie Ma. She did the right thing there, just let Melbourne Uni through on the inside. As we see, Western A's, Bridget Schneider's looking really strong.
And she'll get the bell as the leader in our over 40s 4x1500. So Western A's at the bell now. And they'll go through. They're about 150 metres down on that Melbourne University team who are currently in third place in the open competition.
So 200 metres out now from Melbourne Uni, as we see a Ringwood coming down to get 3 laps to go in the over 40 competition. So a good win to the Essendon girls. Glen Huntly put up a really brave fight, had some good strategy out there. Got out very strongly with Anna Saw, but the Essendon girls at the back end just too strong.
Yeah, they worked their way really well worked their way back into that race. I mean, I think that second leg, that last lap from Lauren Connell gave them a real feel they could still win that event. It was 50 or 60 metres down for most of that second leg and then closed it to past about only a couple of metres down.
Melbourne University coming through now to finish in lane 3.
And she will win the bronze. As we said, it was then Charlotte Wilson who handed it on to Emily Guy.
Laps there to go, Julie Ma from Bendigo.
As we see now, our winner, this is our leader in the over 40s 4x1500. Bridget Snyders has anchored a team, Stephanie Thomas, Sharon Rankin, Amanda Couchy, and they are your gold medalists in 22.44. They'll grab the silver. It's been a flying finish from Ringwood. They were a long way down after leg 1. They've worked their way back really well. But Bendigo Region, Julie Ma, they are in the over 40s category. I think they'd be eligible for a couple of other categories there as well, but what a fantastic run. Bendigo Region taking the silver medal. Lisa Dello gets the bronze for Ringwood. In the end,